Congratulations on making all the models for your assembly. Now, we're going to try and get those models, and we're going to move them into a bamboo slicer in order to print them, or to save them as a file to send to someone else to print. So first, we're going to open one of our pieces. We are then going to go over to parts. You're going to right-click the part, press export, name it whatever you want, make sure it's an STL file, and export. You'll see that it's up here. We'll want to get that piece and move it to somewhere we'll remember. I'm just going to move it to STL files. We're then going to close this, and now we're going to head over to our bamboo slicer. Now that we're in our slicer, we're going to go to File, New Project. Make sure your last project is saved if it wasn't already. But now we're in our new project. It's going to look like a little empty plate. And we're going to go over up here, press File, Import 3MF, step, STL, SVG, and etc. Come over to STL, find the part that you named, and press Open. You'll see that it's now on our base plate, but technically you can print it if you just go to Preview and then press Print Plate. However, you'll see in the bottom it says there's a warning. It has floating parts, and those are right here. If I were to try and print this right now, this would not come out right. This would fall apart, and I would just have a stringy mess. So instead, we gotta go to Prepare, and simplest way to do things is just click on your object and press Auto Orient. It'll put it in the way that the software thinks the best way to orient your object is. If you know that it's not and you want to change it, you can press your object, press this rotate, and you can now spin it on any of its axes. But what if you have an object that you can't flip on its head and you need the supports for those little gaps? If you go on the right and you press support, you scroll down, check the box that says enable support. My personal preference is Tree Auto, as they can be a bit easier to take off and they typically get the job done. If you get the hang of this, you can play with all of these settings and figure them out. But if you're still new, just turn on enable supports. I'd recommend Tree. You can keep it normal, and that's about all you need to do. When you go to prepare, you'll notice that there's all these things around it. I'll change it to a different color so that to help you guys see it. When I go to preview, you'll see all the blue are the supports. This will make sure that when I print it, we'll have a steady piece that's sturdy and every layer be able to print without falling apart. You can see though, this takes much more filament as there's much more supports versus turning off the supports, flipping it over, previewing, it's done. A 20-minute print can take up to 5 hours if not oriented right. So before you print anything or save it, make sure it's in the correct orientation. To save your file, simply press the save icon in the top, or File, Export, and export object as one STL. This will allow you to save it, and then now it's saved, you can send it to someone to print. Congratulations. You're now ready to move on, as you now know how to print all of your pieces.